All right. Let's see if we're good to go here. Awesome. Cool. Right on. Let's get started. What's up, y'all? I hope the connection is good. I have an Ethernet cable coming in literally today or tomorrow. I'm hoping by the end of the day today, and everything is good. Yeah, relatable content. It is a late stream tonight. I wanted to get this out before the attention disappeared behind EZU. EZU right now is currently something that's still trending. It's very fresh on people's minds. It's about to be out of people's minds, like literally probably tomorrow. People probably won't even remember anything about it. That's why I wanted to cover this now. So in this video, we have a lot of people saying a lot of things. We're going to go over their post mint, just like a little bit of an analysis. We're going to talk about what different influencers were saying. We're going to talk about all the criticisms we saw from various people, and I have like examples of it. We're going to talk about another case study that we can look at as to why Psychedelic Anonymous was not able to nail exactly do exactly as well as they wanted to on this launch, and how we have another project that basically did the exact same thing right before. And I just thought it was really interesting to compare the two. And then we'll go over some of the people's reactions that were positive toward it. And I don't know, I want to bring in a little bit of entertainment and fun factor and kind of like bring the Web3 family together, because a lot of these influencer people that I'm going to bring up, you've probably seen, or you've seen some of the tweets, and I kind of want to like bring it all together like we had in the bull run. So if you guys weren't here in like the summer and the fall of last year, the communities were like intensely strong, and it was formed just because like everyone was talking to everyone about everything. And right now I feel like on YouTube, at least, we're not like hearing and seeing what people are doing on Twitter. It's almost like separate. There's like YouTube content and there's like Twitter degeneracy. And so I want to kind of combine the two. That's the goal with this new style of content. So if you're excited to get into it, smash like, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, follow me on Twitter, join my Discord down below in the description. As you know, the goal of this channel is to instill knowledge and confidence it's going to take to navigate this metaverse on your own one day. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into the video. Okay, cool. Here is EZU, 0.2 ETH. So they minted at 0.2 ETH floor. So they're right about the same right now, breaking even, 0.18 as the best offer. 533 Ethereum trade is pretty good. 5.2 thousand items, 3.7 thousand owners. So you guys 15,000 NFT collection ended up not selling out like they wanted to. If we check this out, they never really got over the 0.2 ETH floor. They pretty much just went down. I guess there was a point where they were selling right in the beginning for 0.23. Then they quickly just crashed down, just been an average of 0.18 to 0.2 ETH floor. And if we look at Psychedelic Anonymous here, they're sitting at a 0.68 floor. They recently did a little pump up. They're at like 0.58 a few hours ago or yesterday. 25.9 thousand traded, 2,000 owners, 9.6 thousand items. But we look at this here, right? We look at this and we see that the numbers were trending down for the past few months, especially since the bull run, just like every other project. But this is really interesting because we're going to be able to bring another NFT project later on in the stream where we can show you exactly one of the main reasons why this didn't work that I haven't seen anyone talk about yet, because I only know this because I'm just like close to the project. So I kind of watched it happen right in front of me. But yeah, this project was losing momentum a little bit at the same time they dropped their second action, which is why it was kind of a problem. So let's talk about some of the things that happened. Here's EZU's last statement that's relevant. The mint has closed in 72 hours. They'll take a snapshot. Holders in the snapshot will receive an airdrop of 1 EZU for every EZU that they hold. Get that supply all the way back up. Now, people aren't too happy about this. We're seeing a lot of people upset. They would rather than cut the supply and keep it at 5,000 to reward like the Psychedelic Anonymous holders. What people don't know is EZU is not Psychedelic Anonymous. They're separate. And that's like the biggest issue here, is that they didn't really, so people were really confused. If you guys saw that Voltura did a podcast on my YouTube channel, by the way, the founder of Psychedelic Anonymous, me and him did a 2-hour podcast. He broke down EZU in that podcast. I also have another YouTube video where I actually clipped out the portion where he talked about, it's like a 3-minute, just type it, it'll be something like Voltura explained things. It's like a few videos back. So check that out if you see it. And that was really the first time he went in and explained that EZU was just a project based on product. And they're going to try and develop some product and send that to the market, and then that's that but it's like a separate thing, right? And Voltura will be heading to Psychedelic Anonymous. So we're seeing a lot of people not really happy with how Psychedelic Anonymous has been treated, I guess, as far as this goes. And then some people were saying, look, you guys weren't like easy thing when we bought. Like this is like icing thing, right? And so that's what we saw a lot of. I watched like 5 hours of Twitter Spaces yesterday, so I know literally what happened, right? And they're all, a lot of them are just mad at the fact that psychedelic cannabis people didn't get just rewarded. And honestly, like I'm kind of torn there. Like I see their point there for sure. I also see the point of like this just didn't go as well as they thought, and because of that, they have to make decisions that they didn't intend to make. I don't think in any part of Voltura's brain did he think that they wouldn't sell out. You know what I mean? Frosty, that's fucking hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. That is your tweet. Okay, now we have Crypto Lord. Quote me anywhere. EZU is a cash grab build on hype. Also, these first few tweets are going to be more on the side of not supporting what's happening, and then at the end of the video, we'll go into some of the tweets that are supporting them. So these are all going to be like a little bit more negative or like critiquing the project in the beginning. So quote me anywhere. EZU is a cash grab built on hype. 0.2 for 15,000 is about around $5 million. The team is just wanting to cash out. The worst part is that the only thing that they offer is having an Ethan Soul laughing face. If you have whitelist and you see people buying above the floor, above the mint price, mint and dump. Right, and then everyone here was pissed off at his take here. You know, and here's the thing, like, I mean, it got 189 likes. Like, the valid statement that I could see people making, right? Do I think it's a cash grab? No, I think they just wanted to make a product that is dope and it's going to cost a lot of fucking money and resources and stuff, and I think that's what it was. I think it's just the fact that since it's tied to Psychedelic Anonymous, people are like, don't you have enough money? But the thing is, Anonymous is not EZU. They're separate projects with separate goals, separate paths, right? So that's why they did the way they did. Do I think it was the best thing they could have? No, I think they should have made this 0.1. And as far as the supply, I don't know. Like, I didn't have like a huge problem with the supply, honestly. But the 0.2 ETH, that was a bit. I guess tone deaf is probably the easiest way I could put it. I mean, I know they had a reason for it, and Voltura said if he had it at 0.1, it would have been the same thing that happened. It still would have not sold out and all these things. I just politely disagree. I just don't think that's true. I think it was at 0.1, it would have sold another 40%. That's just my opinion, though. So not really important. Anyways, let's move on. So Big Brain said, those who sold their EZU whitelist for $12.50 right now. That is fucking jokes, bro. That is jokes. Yeah, honestly, bro, I've seen a lot of whitelist sellers. They win, dude. They really do be winning. If you have a strong whitelist in this kind of market, you probably will do better just selling the whitelist. Now, I'm not condoning that because I'm pretty sure that's not allowed for the most part. You'd have to do some like super caveman, just each other type thing, which is almost, just as risky, honestly. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. And then we have this. So this is a really good point here. So this guy down, he just his opinion on the whole thing. And this was the one that stuck out to me. He said, whitelist should have been more handpicked through whitelist games Voltura introduced when marketing for PA. This would have been formed an actual community around EZU. Also, EZU had their own Discord. That's one thing that Voltura actually brought up is one of the main things that went wrong is there wasn't a real community being built, right? So more than 6% of EZU minters were like looking to flip, right? Which is true. That is what happens. And he also acknowledged that on the Twitter Spaces. He understands that the community side of it, and that's why everyone who bought in was just undercutting each other on top of each other, and it's just fucking a shit show to watch. And so great point here. I think that one's backed up, and I don't think there was a lot of like hate toward it. I think people were pretty relaxed, probably agreeing on it. Okay, purpose is to explain what happened here, what could have done better, what they can learn from it. So we're just going to go over the pieces that I think are important. So yeah, we hit on the EZU presence. They just didn't have much of it. People didn't going on with EZU. Like, what is it exactly? Until we had our podcast, there wasn't there. So basically, they just said like people were shocked at the price at being 0.2 with how much time they had before mint. It was like 48 hours or something. And then also the fact that they're just kind of like, what is this thing? Like, it's just, there's almost too much mystery without any answers. And so that's the main point he's trying to hit here. And then the idea of them just kind of continuing to mint out their supply by airdrop everyone. That's one of those things that's a strategy. That's a strategy thing. And I don't know. So we'll have to see what happens. And honestly, you bet on people, I would bet on Voltura. So we'll see what happens. But really interesting things. This guy says the guy who paid 2.41 ETH for 5 EZU whitelist. Yikes. Yeah, he's hurting bad. Let's see if there's any funny comments here. Oh, no, this is the one that got botted. There's a ton of bots on that one. Okay, Bill Gates, let's make more vaccines. No, you put microchips in our bodies and trust Voltura. I'm literally gonna microchip in clothes. Oh man, nice. Yeah, and Voltura Solus, I actually thought it was pretty funny. So yeah, so the idea here is with EZU, it's gonna be a product that you stick into clothes and then you sell that technology to companies, and they can use that to track when people are wearing it, how often, how long are they wearing it, like just information market their stuff, which is a great idea, but it's exactly this, right? It's like, are people going to jump at that? Is the market going to accept that? Are they going to say absolutely fine? And that's a big question. That's why they're such a high risk project. EZU's like, look, we're either going to go to the moon or we're going to crash down hard. And respect to that. I think that's dope. Bimbo saying if EZU doesn't touch 1 ETH, this bear market is worse than I thought. My friend, it's worse than I thought. It is bad. And everyone here is just like, yeah, it did not age well. Did not come close. I don't think it ever over 0.2. But here's the last one. So thanks for being childish, Psychedelic Anonymous. Unstaked and listed all my PA assets. What projects should these funds flow in, getting undercut? And then people just hated on him here. I just thought it was interesting, man. It is pretty fucking crazy, like seeing people just flip flop. Like we had a few people coming to their aid here and say some of y'all are goofy. Obviously, EZU's not going to mint on this kind of market. Why y'all getting mad? Quit funding. You guys were just the same people who were trying to get whitelists. It's so lame, and I agree here, bro. Like it's just standard fucking FUD. Like it's literally just gonna fade away in a few days. Like by tomorrow, this video probably won't even get a lot of views. Honestly, like I just didn't have time because people already got past it. Like no one gives a fuck anymore, right? It's fine, right? The project's gonna do fine. They're gonna do their thing, and that's pretty much it. So, anyways, here's the case study I wanted to bring up before we go into those other supporting tweets. Cool Man's Universe did the same thing, right? And they had their babies drop, and the babies didn't crash, and they really didn't get anywhere. So they minted for 0.2 or 0.1. Wait, yeah, I think it was 0.1. Anyways, they didn't really do anything crazy, right? They just kind of hung out. People were kind of like, this is lackluster. What the fuck? They were kind of getting upset. And not a whole lot happened here by the babies. They didn't mint out. They're supposed to have 20,000. They ended up cutting the supply. And so, this was one of those things when I saw this happen. This was my version of this because I'm in this project and I'm a big fan of Dan. And when he told me that they're going to have such a big supply and all this stuff, I was like, okay, well, they must have something up their sleeve, right? Because we're not in market, obviously, that this could happen. And it didn't happen. And then when they came out and were like, yeah, we just made a mistake, I was like, wait, you guys need to have had your hand on the pulse. Like you got to have your hand on your finger on the pulse here. You got to know not to do that, right? And I don't know what that's going to be. Like, I don't know if that means more project founders need to approach more YouTubers, content creators who are in the space, because we do have our finger to the pulse. We do know what people should and shouldn't do just based on like vibe, I guess. And so that's one of those things that like, I don't know who on the team is in charge of this, but like this should have been the same with, in my opinion, at least with Psychedelic Anonymous and Cool Man Universe. It's like, guys, it doesn't matter what you need or want. It's just not going to happen. Like this was such, like, it was like that guy said earlier. It's like, obviously we're not going to mint out. We're in this kind of market with a 0.2 ETH. That's crazy, right? So that's my opinion there. And the same thing here, right? Cool Man's Universe was trading at 0.8, 0.7 points a while ago. Not that long ago, actually. They're sitting at a 0.13 floor. This is the cheapest it's ever been. This is the cheapest. This is actually the exact same price I called it out. Like 9 months ago, if you guys were here on the channel, I was on a live stream, just like the one you're watching right now. I found Cool Man's Universe and said, you know what? This project's dope. I'm going to buy Cool Man's Universe. Next day, Gary V bought it. And everyone's Cool Mans that bought that night with me. We went from 0.1 ETH to 2 ETH. 2 ETH. That was probably my biggest, like, pure luck. But, like, we got in right before, and this price is sitting at a very cheap price. But my point here is that they launched on the 9th, July 9th, the Babies collection. And here's the last day of like positivity, basically, right? This is like on the way down, but they've been crashed since. So they launched in a period with terrible market conditions and negative sentiment towards their project. It's just a recipe for disaster when you're going to try and raise that amount of funding, that amount of sales. There's a whole lot of factors that play in that. And I don't know. I just like thing to bring up to you guys to compare them to. And it's kind of seeing a similar thing there. I think that, PA and Psychedelic Anonymous and Voltura actually marketed that project better than Cool Man's Universe did. They just didn't. They did it. Well, actually, I don't know. I think the market just being very jittery and not unsure and unwilling to do things and take chances is the main reason, honestly. And I know Voltura was like hesitant to put blame on the market. He was like, obviously, most of this is our fault. We're going to be accountable and all that stuff. But like, let's be honest, the market is like 75% of the reason it didn't mint out. If we were in a bull market, it doesn't fucking matter about anything. They're going to mint out because of Psychedelic Anonymous, right? Let's call it spade a spade. Let's not bullshit here. If we're in a bull market, EZU sells out no matter what. They don't need a Discord. They don't need a Twitter even. Like, they just need the name and the fact that Volterra is on it. Let's be completely honest. It would have sold out. It doesn't really have that much to do with everything else. It really does have more to do with the sentiment. But that being said, because of that, they shouldn't have probably dropped a huge collection at such a steep price without giving out that much information. And that's just one of those things. I think you really need to have someone on the team or someone that you can have as an advisor that you can just hit up and be like, yo, here's some of our main details. Is this pretty much good? Are we good here? And if the answer is good, then you roll forward. Like, if you come to me or another YouTuber and said, hey, here's the numbers we're talking about, what do you think? I would have been like, absolutely fucking not. I don't care if you're my friend or not. Like, that's craziness. I mean, it's craziness. So I don't know. That's just my point here. So let's go into some of these points, some of these tweets that are more supportive of the EZU project. So we have NFT guy. I'm sure you guys, pretty big person in this space, I guess you could say. There's been some incredibly interesting NFT marketing testing this week. Utes Market, which is, by the way, the D-Gods project. If you guys haven't gone onto the Utes, all you have to do is type in Utes. This is 2 zeros, by the way. So Y00TS, I think .com or something like that. Just type in Utes web, and then all you have to do is like put in your email. And then if you get selected, then you literally get, it's just that easy, right? So that's going to be closing like super soon. So anyways, they have an innovative application and announcement system. Yeah, so they have this Twitter account that like spits out winners every few minutes, right? And if you get tagged, it's like you fucking won, you got it. And like people are really excited. It's been happening for days now. And so basically they're saying Utes Markets through an innovative application announcement system to ask people to like and EZU likes ask people to like and tag 3 friends. So bad about this because they were like, this is incentivizing degen behavior, which is basically what happened, right? Our DGOD's ecosystem explodes in value. DGOD's is the parent collection to Utes, by the way. EZU fails to mint out, to sell out. Yep, and then the space shifting. And a lot of people did agree with this. And it's interesting for me because I don't know what to feel. Like, in some ways, like, what, how do I put this? What place does like PFPs and just brand projects, like a community style project, does that play any part in NFTs, or does everything have to like solve cancer? Does every project need to be like doing something unbelievable? And I don't know. Like, Board of Yakult has survived to this point based on purely speculation and hype. Will that just fade? Like, I don't know, maybe. So I don't know. It's just a curious thought process to go down. If you have any thoughts on it, drop them in the chat. Also, if you haven't liked this video, and especially if you're in here live, smash the like button for me, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord down below in the description. Okay. And here we go. So I think there was a tweet in here. Nope, never mind. We have Shamdu. So if you guys know him, so Sam, this is the one I brought up earlier, but Shamdu is that 17-year-old kid who like everyone loves. He like posts all these funny meme shit, and I haven't followed him in a while, and I just found his account again, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. But he's the founder of HeadDAO NFT, and he gets a lot of hate because he's a big influencer person. But this one was like it was well received. I mean, he said a good thing here, and I think he was pretty on point. He says some of y'all are goofy, just flip-flopping as soon as the market goes bad. Like, these same people would have been doing the opposite if the market had just like accepted the EZU price and it had just minted out. There would have not been this kind of level of FUD. But because there was, everyone that want to act like they knew it was going to happen. Like NFT Llama here, the amount of people talking shit about EZU, y'all were the same people privately DMing Volterra and asking your price to get whitelist. Doesn't change the energy up, but nonetheless, just an analysis. I'm just watching people act. It's interesting. I agree here. I like Llama. I like his thoughts and stuff. He's funny. I have zero opinion regarding price action, nor do I care. It's just a weird take for people to switch up so quick. I feel weird myself, but you guys do you. And he said he ended up sweeping 5 just because they're friends. So I'd love to have that type of money. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was pretty interesting. People were pretty okay with it. A lot of people fuck with Volterra, right? Like, I don't know what you guys think about Volt. I think he's a pretty cool guy. I think he's a pretty smart guy, and he's very resourceful. You can't just run a super successful business and company and then get into this world and just like, well, I guess you can just suck, but he's proven that he hasn't. I mean, Psychedelic Anonymous is one of the most well received, like has one of the best names in the space, I would say. Aside from this FUD that I think is pretty minuscule, to be honest, I think it's relatively small speed hump. I don't know. I feel like Psychedelic Anonymous has like one of the better brands in this space. And then finally, the last tweet from our boy Zerk. Zerk in the house. He says, EZU not selling out feels the same as my girlfriend cheating on me with a Savvy Seals holder. Feels bad, man. Shit. Yeah. Rip, RIP. But guys, that's gonna pretty much bring this video to a close. That is basically all people that like tweet stuff that are public people. I just tried to find anything that was relevant to EZU that I thought was interesting and bring it into one video. Let me know what you guys think about the EZU thing. Yeah, I mean, you guys got my thoughts kind of in the beginning of the video. If you enjoyed this kind of content, let me know down below. Subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, smash a like, follow me on Twitter, do all the things. I appreciate you guys being here. If you made it to the very end, code word. Code word. Fuck. I don't even know, dude. Volt? Code word Volt. If you made it to the very end, code word Volt if you made it to the end. Thank you so much for being here. If this is not your first show, if this is not your first live stream with me, OG, I want to see OG spammed in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, continue on your joy age, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video. Bye.